On April 19th, a Russian Tupolev Tu-22M Backfire bomber crashed in Ukraine's Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. The footage capturing the incident was shared across social media platforms. It depicted the Russian bomber engulfed in flames, spiraling in a flat spin during its descent. The Ukrainian government claimed responsibility. Air Force Commander Mykola Oleshchuk said, "For the first time, the anti-aircraft missile units of the Ukrainian Air Force, in cooperation with Ukraine's main Directorate of Intelligence, destroyed a Tu-22M long-range strategic bomber, the carrier of Kh-22 cruise missiles, which the Russian terrorists used to attack peaceful Ukrainian cities." In this video, Defense Updates reports on the downing of Russian Tu-22M Backfire bomber. Let's get started. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. As per Governor Vladimir Vladimirov, the Russian plane crashed in Krasnogvardeyski district of Stavropol Krai. Subsequently, Ukrainians released another video showing troops coordinating a mission to intercept the bomber midair. The bomber was purportedly on its way back to base post-strike when it was targeted. Disputing claims of Ukrainian involvement in the downing, the Russian Defense Ministry asserted that the aircraft crashed due to a technical malfunction during its return to the main airport following a combat operation. However, it did not provide any evidence supporting this assertion. According to Ukraine's intelligence service, they employed the same weapon to target the bomber as they did to down a rare Russian Air Force Beriev A-50 radar plane on February 23rd. This suggests the utilization of either an American-made Patriot air defense battery or an ex-Soviet S-200 battery. Patriot has a range of 100 miles or 160 kilometers, whereas S-200 has a range of 150 miles or 240 kilometers. It's interesting to note that Ukraine was unable to defend Kyiv from an intensive missile barrage that destroyed the city's most important power plant on April 11th, and President Volodymyr Zelensky had stated, "We ran out of all missiles." While this makes the S-200 the only option, there is the possibility that it was disinformation and a few Patriot interceptors were still available and used for this high-value kill. Also, it should be noted that the S-200, being a Soviet-origin weapon, is more likely to be suppressed by the Tu-22M. Tu-22M is a Cold War-era designed aircraft. The aircraft was first flown on the 30th of August, 1969, and was introduced in service in 1972. During the Cold War, the Soviet Air Force used the aircraft as a missile carrier for the strategic bombing role and long-range maritime anti-shipping role. It's a supersonic and heavy bomber with a variable sweep wing design. The bomber can reach speeds of Mach 1.88 and has a range of around 6,800 kilometers, or around 4,225 miles. Russia built about 497 Tu-22M bombers, but currently around 70 are in use. The bomber's gone through an extensive upgrade program and is designated as Tu-22M3. The enhancements include new navigation, communication and targeting equipment, radio electronic warfare means, as well as more efficient engines. The Soviet-era Tu-22Ms have been a major problem for Ukraine since not long after Russia's all-out invasion of the country. Several Ukrainian cities have been targeted by this platform. These bombers have typically been deployed to carry standoff missile strikes on Ukraine from within Russian airspace. They've been used to launch old supersonic Kh-22s and newer Kh-32 variants, which are primarily heavy anti-ship missiles used for land attack roles, as well as Kinzhal hypersonic missiles. The first video of Kh-22 and Kh-32 missiles being launched at Ukrainian targets emerged in May 2022. Due to the high velocities of these missiles, Ukraine had limited defensive options against them. In January 2023, the Ukrainian Air Force said, "The armed forces of Ukraine have no firepower capable of shooting down this type of missile." The commander of the Ukrainian Air Force noted, "Only anti-aircraft missile systems, which in the future may be provided to Ukraine by Western partners, are capable of intercepting these aerial targets." Since then, the country received American Patriot and German Iris-T air defense system, but the coverage remained limited. Tu-22M is a strategic asset for Russia, and even if one is taken out of action, it can be considered as a major blow. Russia has only a limited number of these in active service, and each costs around $50 million. The Ukrainian military has been diligently searching for opportunities to eliminate these bombers for quite some time. In October 2022, a Ukrainian drone reportedly traveled across the border and targeted the Sheikovka Air Base, home to Russian Tu-22 strategic bombers from the 52nd Heavy Bomber Aviation Regiment. In the coming days, the situation could get worse for Russia. Kyiv was facing scarcity of every kind of weapon and had its back to the wall. With the U.S. Senate greenlighting a nearly $61 billion aid package for Ukraine and President Biden giving his signature, critically needed American weaponry could soon be deployed on the battlefield. This weapons package, which had been stalled due to political disputes among House Republicans since last autumn, is hailed as a lifeline for Kyiv's military by Yehor Chernyev, the deputy chairman of the Ukrainian Parliament's National Security Committee. Following the approval of funding, President Biden announced the shipments of weapons would commence within a few hours. While the loss of a single strategic bomber may not seem much at first glance, it's evident that the Ukraine war is slowly but surely diminishing Russia's military capabilities.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.